Hey everybody, Rosematter here. Welcome to part 12 of my Steins Gate Let's Play. So things are getting really crazy. Getting crazier each episode. So with the last one, Mayuri got shot by Mooka, which was insane. And Okabe just kept going back in time over and over again, using the time leap machine to try and save Mayuri, but he failed each time. And finally realized that maybe I should talk to some of the lab mems about this and maybe see if I can get their help. So he finally told Kurisu what's happened, and she's like, okay, I'll help you, we'll figure this out. So hopefully with Kurisu's help, we're going to be able to save Mayuri and be able to stop Mooka. So I am full on board the train now. It was a slow start to this game, but it seems to just be going non-stop now. So I am very excited to see what happens next, so let's go. I lie back on the sofa with my phone in my hand, needles in my brain, a whining in my ears. These sensations never get any easier to endure. I look at the clock. It's about 1:45. There's a high school baseball game on TV. In about 15 minutes, Kurisu will finish the time leap machine. All it needs are some final adjustments, so there's nothing for me to do but wait. As the pain in my brain subsides, I realize that my head is throbbing. Why? Oh, I remember. Right before this, I had an argument with Mr. Braun in which he introduced his fist to my skull. Mayuri is at her sewing machine working on her costume. Dara was at his computer collecting moe artwork from the internet. Kurisu is in the development room upgrading the time leap machine. I sit motionless as the minutes tick by. Suddenly, the sound of the sewing machine stops, and I was told that when, there kept being the issues where it was like, oh, it's like a dream and I didn't do anything, I was supposed to actually intervene and use my phone and call people. The thing is, it's when you play a passive visual novel like Higurashi, sometimes you forget. You're like, oh yeah, there's the option for me to do that, but I do plan on doing all the endings, and I've been told that there are times where I should not do certain things in order to get those endings. So I'm going to do those, and then I'm going to work my way to that true ending. So there are going to be some times where I know I should do something, but I'm not going to. So if you see me not doing a certain thing, that's why.
Okari, ちょっと来て。
Mayuri shows me her costume.
これをね、持っててくれないかな。こうして、ピローンって広げて。
And then Dara's going to be like, say flop again.
まゆし、今のビローンもう一度。
ピローン。
ビローンいただきました。も
うやだこの変態。
I follow Mayuri's direction and spread the costume out by the sleeves.
ありがとう。
Mayuri looks a little tired. She was working on this costume all night. But then she smiles brighter than the sun.
できた。
I said something here, didn't I? What was it? I can't remember.
クリスちゃんより先にできたよ。競争してたんだ。
負けたわ、まゆり。お見事ね。でも、こっちももう終わりよ。
Kurisu finishes connecting the two cords she's holding.
完成。
Alright, that's my cue.
実験はしない。
Crap, was that too soon?
いきなり全否定とか。私が何のために苦労して作ったと思ってんのよ。
タイムリープには問題が山積みだ。その点についてじっくり検証したい。
あんたにしてはまともな意見だな。
何が問題なのかな。完成したんじゃないの。
詳しくは後日説明する。今日はみんな疲れているだろうから解散にしよ
う。完成祝いにちょっとでもパーッとやったりしないの？
それも後日だ。
I managed to convince Daru and Mayuri to leave. I lend Mayuri my phone charger since we use the same brand of phone. Kurisu tries to go home too, but I quietly keep her back.
何？
不満か？
ええ、
Probably because I shot her down right after she finished the time leap machine. She'll feel relieved later, but only after she has time to fully consider its implications.
俺は5時間後から来た。
Kurisu spears me with a piercing glare.
何の冗談？
Her narrowed eyes make me believe that looks can kill.
睨むな。お前言っていることが全然違うではないか。何が未来から来たと言われれば多分信じるだ。
は？何そのバカっぽいセリフ。
5時間後のお前が言ったんだぞ。
捏造しないで。私が多分信じるみたいな論理性皆無の発言するわけないでしょ。
I'd like to have a word with future Kurisu. If this is how you're going to be, then you leave me no choice but to quote you word for word.
タイムリープが成功したことを聞かされたお前は何の疑問もなく自分の理論は間違ってなかったって思えた。成功してよかったって思えたとも言った。そもそも電話レンジを改良してタイムリープマシンを作ったのは私なのだぜ。
私はそんなのだぜみたいな話し方しない。
お前が今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである。
Kurisu's face suddenly turns red.
マイスプーンはすでに持っているそうだな。
そんなことまで話したのか？恨むぞ5時間後の私。
She appears genuinely shocked for some reason, but I'm pretty sure she believes me now.
心の中を覗き見されたような気分よ。しかもよりによって岡部にと。
What does she think I'm going to do?
でもあんたの言うこと信じてよさそうね。詳しく聞かせて。
I explain everything to Kurisu again. I'm able to organize my thoughts better since this is my second time.
なるほどね。あんたの言うことが事実ならかなりまずい状況だな。
There are 5 hours until Mayuri's death. We need to come up with a plan before then.
5時間後の私は時間順序保護仮説かもって言ってたらしいけど、それともちょっと違う気がする。あの仮説は因果率が狂う恐れがあるからタイムトラベルの可能性は量子論により否定されるっていうものよ。でもタイムリープの場合タイムパラドックスはそもそも起きない。
Two of me don't exist at the same time, and I can't bring anything with me to the past. All that changes are the memories stored in my temporal lobe. So at the very least, time leaping can't cause a grandfather paradox.
やはり世界の意志だ。宇宙そのものが検閲をするかのように俺が歪ませた地上の修正を行っているとしか思えない。
だとしたらタイムリープじゃマユリは救えないっていうことになる。何をしたって修正されちゃうんだから。
I refuse to accept that.
そんなのは認めない。
What? He's reading into my heart right now.
同意するわ。世界の意思説は非現実的すぎる。私は支持したくない。
多世界解釈ならどうだ。マユリが死なない可能性を観測できれば解決だ。
多世界解釈か。マユリの死に方がいつも違うっていうのは関係あるのかな。でも重ね合わせ状態になっているいくつもの可能性世界は相互観測が不可能なのに、あんたはどうして観測できてるの？
それはこの俺の特殊能力であるリーディングシュタイナーが。
She's like, you keep saying that, I'm starting to believe maybe there's something to it. It's because he's the protagonist of a visual novel, that's why.
ダメだこいつ。早くなんとかしないと。
他に説明のしようがない。
特殊能力ってあんたね、もしかしてそれ本気で言ってたのか？
ふざけているつもりはないぞ。
Our D-mail experiments proved that I can somehow perceive changes in the timeline when they occur. It's an ability only I seem to possess.
特殊能力だかなんだか知らないけど、そんな不確定的なものを頼る気にはなれない。だいたいどの可能性を観測するかを制御しようがないんだから、多世界解釈だろうがなんだろうが、マユリが死なない可能性に至るのは無理よ。
待て、これでは話が進まないではないか。解釈の話はいいから、俺たちにできることを考えるべきだ。
タイムリープじゃ結果は変えられない。さっきそう言った。
じゃあどうするんだ。
落ち着け。
落ち着いていられるか。俺が一体何度マユリの死を目の当たりにしたと思ってるんだ。あいつが無残に血を流して生き絶えていくのを俺は目の前で何度も見ていたんだ。何度も見ていることしかできなかったんだ。
I hear my teeth grinding into my skull. Recalling that despair, that feeling of utter powerlessness makes me want to lash out at everything within reach.
感情に身を任せてたって何も解決しない。
当事者じゃないからそんなに冷静でいられるんだろう。
そうね。私には5時間後のことはわからない。正直なところ実感が湧かない。でもあんたの言ってることを信じてないわけじゃない。岡部がしっかりしなきゃ。
Krisu pats my arm. Her hand is warm and her touch is gentle. How American of her.
悪かった。
She's right. Getting emotional won't solve anything. I need to calm down. Calm down.
そもそも原因が違うのに必ず同じ結果に至るというのが解せない。因果が歪んでいるとしか思えない。
マユリの死の原因は桐生萌香が発砲するじゃなくて、もっとマクロなことなんじゃない？
I was gonna say, can we... I don't know if it would really make a difference, but can we leap far enough back in time where we don't even make Moeka a lab member so she doesn't get this information in the first place? Although we are connected to SERN, so like SERN is gonna know what we're doing regardless. But if we just never meet Moeka or we don't take her in the first place, would that change anything at all?
タイムマシンを作ったことか、あるいはセルンにハッキングしたことがバレたことあたりね。その結果としてマユリが死ぬ。そう考えるなら因果は歪んでないって言える。
苗に背中を押されて電車にひかれるのもそれで説明できるのか。
あ、そっか。でも因果率は絶対のルールなのよ。それを否定したら全ての物理学も否定されてしまう。だから必ずマユリが死ぬのには原因がある。
その原因さえわかるならなんとかなるかも。
そうでもない。
どういうことだ。
その原因となる出来事がいつ起こったというのが問題になってくる。あまり時間が経っているようだと対処できないわ。
タイムリープマシンがあるから携帯電話を持っている時代の範囲内ならどこへでも戻れるはずだろ
う。戻れない。予測だけどタイムリープマシンは一度に最長で48時間しか跳躍できないと思う。
Oh, well, that's not really gonna help. 48 hours? I can only go back 2 days?
なぜ今さらそんなことを。
今さらってタイムリープマシンが完成したのはついさっきじゃない。
That's true.
5時間後のお前も言わなかった。
ああ、そういうことか。言い出すタイミングがなかったのかも。
で48時間しか飛べない理由は。
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
わからない。私もマシンのすべての原理や構造を理解して作ったわけじゃないから。連続での跳躍は可能よ。タイムリープマシンが存在している限りね。例えば10年後までタイムリープマシンが壊れずに残っていたのなら10年の時間を遡ってくることはできる。単純計算で1825回タイムリープする必要があるから かなりのリスクになりそうだけど、とにかく理論上は可能なの。
だったら何も問題は。
大あり。言ったでしょ、タイムリープマシンが存在している限りって。あのマシンはいつ完成した？
あ、
Yeah.
そう、ほんの1時間前、2010年8月13日の午後2時ぐらい。それ以前には存在していない。マシンを使うのは今日の2時以降じゃないと不可能なのよ。
つまり過去方向へは
Count 48 hours back.
8月11日の14時までしか行けないと。
Kurisu nods, her expression grave.
おそらく
改良できないのか。
将来的にできるかもしれないけど、今のこの状況じゃ無理。もっときちんとした設備のあるところでお金をたくさん使ってきちんとしたパーツを使えばなんとかなるかもしれないけど、それをやろうとしてもどうせセルンに潰されると思う。未来の私かあんたが未だにタイムリープしてきていないという回で証明終了かな。
So basically,
結局何もできないということではないか。タイムリープマシンがあっても5時間後にマユリがセルに殺される運命は結局避けられないのかよ。
at that moment, I heard a sound from outside the window. Oh, is that Suzuha crashing her bike? What? Is that Moeka? Did she overhear us? Oh, it sounded like somebody crashing a bike. I dashed to the window and looked down the street. Oh, it's Suzuha. Oh my gosh, I called it! Apparently I know the sound of a bicycle falling very well. Her bicycle has fallen over and she's scurrying to pick it up. Yeah, I mean, obviously she's in on this too. Not with SERN necessarily, although maybe she's a double agent? I don't know. Our eyes meet. Maybe she... And then there's this whole John Titor thing, and her potentially being the daughter of John Titor, and if John Titor can go back in time, maybe he could do something? Why does she look so pale? Her lips move slightly. It looks like she's whispering something, but I can't make it from here.
What?
I call out to Suzuha, but she leaps on her bike and zips away. She's acting strange. I smell a conspiracy. Moeka was a spy. Could Suzuha be the same? It's too dangerous to trust anyone. Suzuha has exhibited suspicious behavior, though not as much as Moeka has. She's openly hostile towards Kurisu, and she was able to take down SERN's hit squad single-handedly. I wonder if this missing father of hers really exists. Could he be the John Titor who's been posting on the internet? What is the meaning of the name Beryl Titor? Instinct tells me that she knows something. I dash out of the lab.
ちょっと、どこ行くの？
I know I don't have much chance of catching her on foot, but I have to try. There's something going on here. This is a completely new sequence of events. According to my memories of the future, Suzuha is supposed to remain at the Brontu workshop until 6:30 this evening. But when she overheard me talking to Kurisu, she suddenly took off like a bat out of hell. This has to mean something. Suzuha's already out of sight, but when she left, she was heading for Chirodori. I wonder if her phone's on. Oh, maybe I should just try calling her. Alright. Part-time.
Suzuha が聞きたいことがある。
ごめん。きっと私のせいだ。
何？
私が甘えてたせいで。だから今度こそ私行くよ。
Oh.
じゃあ
Okay.
Suzuha! おい!
It's happening again. She's going to disappear. Oh boy, I wonder if by calling her, has I changed her... what goes on with her? Last time I lost sight of her near the station. I search up and down Shirodori, but find no trace of Suzuha or her bike. Okay, if I just keep trying to call her, will that do anything at all? Okay, it's not letting me do it. I have to be careful. There could already be rounders here in Akiba. I comb the area around the station's main exit, but there's no sign of her anywhere. I lost sight of her here before, so I thought she might be close by. Maybe I should corner her on my next time leap, press her for answers before she can escape. I better get back to the lab. I start walking away from the station, but just then, the people around me gasp and point. Uh-oh. Everyone's looking up at the sky. Oh, no. No, not the sky. The satellite embedded in the roof of Radicon. What? Why now? It's been there for 2 weeks. It's practically a landmark now. But everyone looks like they're seeing it for the first time. So I turn around and look up too. What are you going to do, Suzuha? What are you doing? Oh, okay. The lights on the satellite are blinking. I was like, I thought maybe she was going to do something rash. She's going to try and get into the satellite or something. Or maybe she is. Oh, maybe. Is someone inside? Who?
おまねすずはそれとも桐生萌香か
The satellite has remained silent through all of my previous time leaps. What has changed? Obviously, the fact that Suzuha overheard my conversation with Kurisu. Previously, I lost sight of her at the station. In other words, right next to the Radicon. Suzuha must be up there. Everyone's staring at the satellite. This is my chance to sneak in without being noticed. The shutters are half open, just as they were when I confronted Moeka. I summon my courage and crawl through the crack. When I get inside, the first thing I see is Suzuha's bike lying on the floor.
やはりあいつか
What is she trying to do? What is it, that satellite? How is it related to John Titor? Is it even a satellite? Nobody knows for sure. I checked online. No satellites fell out of orbit that day. When they do, whether by accident or design, they usually burn up in the atmosphere. It's impossible for one to land in such perfect condition. So what is it then? A jolt suddenly runs through my body. Could it be a time machine? There's only one way to know for sure. I need to get there before Suzuha does something. The elevator and escalator aren't operating, so I bound up the stairs 2 at a time. My lungs gasp and my legs burn, but I force my body to carry me to the top. What I've learned here is, Okabe, maybe after this, like, maybe get into trying to do some exercise, because it seems to affect you every time, where it's like, you struggle, man. It's like, if you want to be in situations like this, you gotta be in good physical condition. There's the satellite, lodged in Radicon's roof. I noticed wires holding it in place. The police must have done that so it wouldn't fall. There's a hatch open on the side of the machine. I see someone moving inside.
Suzuha!
The person freezes when I shout. I run to the satellite.
Okabe. Rintaro.
Suzuha turns to me with a sad expression. Behind her, I can see the interior of the satellite. It's surprisingly simple without the switches and buttons you'd expect. Instead, there's a black box on the size of a desktop PC. There are numbers on the screen: 2010 813, and below that 1975 813. Suzuha reaches out to press a button. Sparks burst from the panel. She jerks back, her fingertips burned.
何をしている
1975 1975.
動かない。
動かし方をしているのか
She doesn't reply. I see her shoulders sag.
動かないよ。
Those sparks had to be from an electrical short. My eyes are burning from the smoke.
答えろあまねすずは
I swallow hard, then ask the question.
これはタイムマシンだなお前はタイムトラベラーなのか
With her head hung low, Suzuha nods.
私がジョン・タイターだよ。
Okay. Okay. Alright, we're gonna need some explanations, girl. There's still a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side facing away from the station. So is she trying to help us? Obviously, if that was John Titor, if that was her talking on @channel, she was trying to help us out. Suzuha's calmed down a bit, so I start pressing her for answers.
お前がジョン・タイターとはどういうことだ
そのまんまの意味だよ。アットチャンネルに書き込んでたジョン・タイターはさ、私なの。
男だと思っていた
Suzuha smiles humorously.
まんまと騙された？カムフラージュの意味もあるんだよね。
And then there's this barrel Titor she talks about, like, that I need to know about.
何から隠れようとしていた
セルン。
ジョン・タイターとして書き込んだことはもしかして。
そう、一部を除いてほとんどが事実。
Alright, but then we gotta know, like, what makes her dislike Kurisu? Obviously, she's done something in the future that Suzuha doesn't approve of. It's those exceptions that bother me.
お前は2036年から来たというのか。あの人工衛星、いやタイムマシンに乗って。
本当は正体明かさないままでいようと思ったんだけどさ、よりによってマシンが故障してるなんて完全に私の失策だ。
だがタイターのタイムマシンはシボルエに積まれていたはず。
シボルエ、車だっけ？それどこからの情報
？2000年に現れたタイターが自分でそう言った。
2000年？それもしかすると別の世界線の私かもね。少なくとも私は2000年には行ってない。2036年からまっすぐここに来た。
So it was someone else? It's true that Titor never posted in 2000, not on the current world line. It doesn't matter. I can worry about that later.
お前は何を知っている？
I press Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't escape.
さっき俺とクリスの話を聞いていたな。なぜあんなに慌ててタイムマシンに向かった？お前は何をしようとしたんだ？
私のせいかと思って。
何？
私がここでのんびりしてたせいでセルンの好きにさせちゃったんだ。ねえ、本当なの？
Suzuha suddenly grabs my shoulders. Okabe's like, that's my thing.
椎名真由里があと数時間後にセルンに殺されるって本当？
事実だ。俺は5時間後からタイムリープしてきた。
タイムリープ？君たちのタイムマシン完成したんだ。
それより答えろ。お前の生とはどういうことなんだ？
Suzuha bites her lip and looks away.
全部話すよ。私のこと
Thank you.
話さなくちゃいけないと思う。君とマキセ・クリスには。
Kurisu? Why Kurisu? I guess I'll find out if I let Suzuha talk. I want to know, what is your deal with Kurisu? We should head back to the lab. But first, I offer Suzuha my handkerchief. She looks around me. She looks at me for a second, then takes it and ties it around her burnt hand.
Thank you.
She should probably see a doctor about her hand, but there's no time for that. Mayuri's death is approaching. I just hope she's not in too much pain. I wrap a towel around her hand to keep people around us from staring.
おかりん、おかえり。すずさんも一緒だったんだね。
When we get back to the lab, Mayuri and Dara are there for some reason. I thought I sent them home. Mayuri gives me a ditzy answer when I ask them.
やっぱりね、スーパー電話レンジちゃんの完成祝いはするべきだよ。ということで、ダルくんと二人で買い出ししてね、帰ってきたの。
I should have known she wouldn't stay away. Kurisu looks as worried as I am. She leans close and whispers in my ear.
どうする？
マユリには絶対事情を知られないようにするんだ。
Kurisu nods slightly.
何こそこそ話してるん？
何度も言うが完成祝いはしない。
おかり、付き合い悪いよ。
そういう問題ではなく。
I glance at Suzuha. She still looks depressed.
すずさん、元気ないけどどうかしたの？
これから 俺とクリスティーナとスズハで重要な話をする予定でな。だからお前たちには帰ってもらったのだ。
マユシーも聞きたいよ。
いや、マユシ、空気読んだ方がよくね？
でもすずさん落ち込んでるみたいだし、なんだかね、マユシーは心配なのです。ごめんね。
Suzuha hangs her head and bites her lip. I know she feels responsible for Mayuri's death. But how is she related? That's what I'm here to find out.
椎名真由里と橋田至にも聞いてもらいたい。二人にも関係ある話だと思うし。
If Suzuha says so, then I have no objections. But I quietly pull her aside and remind her not to tell them about Mayuri's impending death. Alright, here we go. Then I quickly explain Suzuha's true identity, that she posted on @channel as John Titor, that the satellite is really a time machine, that she came from the year 2036. I appreciate the fact that the game just is like does a quick, I explained all these things rather than, let's take 10 minutes for Suzuha to explain all these things to everybody.
未来人すげえ、マジパネっす。握手してもらっていいですか？
誰？遊びではないんだぞ。
すずさんは何年生まれなの？ 2017年。7年後なんだ。まだ生まれてないのにここにいるんだね。
There's no time to deal with Mayuri's confusion.
それでスズハ、詳しく話してもらおうか。
って言ってもタイターとして書き込んだ内容がほとんど全て。私は2036年の未来から来た。その時代はセルンによって支配されたディストピアで、争いは完全に消えたけど人々は自由を奪われてる。ディストピア？
極端な管理社会、全体主義。まゆりがバナナを食べたいと思っても、今日がバナナを食べていい日でなければ食べることは許されない。もし食べたら裁判なしで実刑。そんな社会ってところ。
She's like, I don't like that. She's like, if it was my dystopia, every day would be banana day.
それは困るよ。マユシーはバナナ大好きなのに。
That's a good way for her to explain it to Mayuri, actually. Forget about the bananas.
私はさ、セルンの支配からの解放のために戦うレジスタンスなの。この時代にタイムトラベルしてきたのはそんな今を。君たちからしたら未来になるのか、未来を変えるため。
Change the future. She doesn't sound like she's joking.
じゃあお父さんを探してるっていうのは、あれは嘘だったのかな。
Suzuha doesn't answer. Does that mean it was a lie? No, I bet that's true.
セルンは研究機関であって権力を持つ統治機関じゃない。私は何度もネット上でジョン・タイターにそう訴えてきた。
Online?
まさかお前栗ご飯とカメハメハか。
Kurisu turns red and looks away.
タイターの中の人が名乗り出たんだから、私も名乗り出ないとフェアじゃないでしょ。
ならば俺もそれに倣おう。俺は王王院京馬というマナで。
I'm pretty sure they know that.
それは知ってる。
I was like, who else would it be?
あ、ハモった。
Suzuha frowns. She must not like having anything in common with Kurisu. She clears her throat and continues.
セルンは2036年でも研究機関だよ。世界を支配してるのはセルンのバックにいる300人委員会ってやつら。
Oh my god. Oh no. Okabe's gonna be like, Vindication.
300人委員会実在したのか。
Wait, like, did this Okabe come from the future too? How could he have known about the Committee of 300? Does he have... What? That name was in CERN's top secret documents. Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought that was just something he made up. He's made up so many things. It's hard to keep it all together.
彼らは時間っていう4つ目の次元に干渉できる唯一の存在になった。その結果、たった2年で世界の秩序は全て塗り替えられたってわけ。
Just 2 years. But that's only an objective time. I bet CERN's time travelers spent many decades leaping back and forth across history, building the foundation of CERN's rule.
そんでもってマキセ・クリス。
Alright, yes. What is her relation? Suzuha glares at Kurisu. Did she somehow... Was she one of the committee? Like, did she somehow have some part of helping CERN?
2036年において君は
Oh.
タイムマシンの母として崇敬されている。
数形？
日本語で OK。
崇敬、崇め、敬われているってこと。
Oh, so it's because of this time machine that all this started. They got... Okay, so in their timeline, they got their time leap machine and used it to create an even better time machine to be able to rule the world. She keeps using unusual vocabulary, or maybe that's normal vocabulary in 2036.
敬われてって。私が
2010年にタイムリープの概念を史上初めて発見し、その後もセルンのタイムマシン開発に貢献した人物。それが私の聞かされたマキセ・クリスっていう人間よ。
Is that why she treats Kurisu like an enemy?
ならば俺がタイムマシンの父だな。
It's like, no, nobody knows who you are.
岡部倫太郎はテロリスト扱いされてる。
Okay.
結構有名。
Seriously? I'm a terrorist in the future? Somehow I find that fitting.
私がセルンでタイムマシン開発に携わるっていうこと？信じられない。セルンは人体実験までしてるのよ。科学者の風上にも置けないそんな連中のところになんて行くつもりはない。
でも未来ではそうなってた。
未来の私はなんて言ってた？
会ったことは一度もないよ。それに2036年にはもう亡くなってたし。
Oh, and then I'm thinking, ooh, so I'm wondering if that first timeline we saw way back when Kurisu got killed, maybe that was Suzuha killing Kurisu, because if she never makes the time machine, then none of this ever happens? I totally forgot that Kurisu actually died, like at the beginning of the game. So that's the thing, is like, who killed her? Was it CERN? But it wouldn't be CERN, because CERN needs her. So maybe it was Suzuha.
今さらっとすごいこと言われた。私って50歳まで生きられないってこと？
私の時代では極端に長生きの人と不審な亡くなり方をする若い人の2種類がいた。セルンに逆らうような言動をする人はどんどん消されていった。
私も？
Suzuha looks into Kurisu's eyes. For once, she's not glaring at Kurisu.
もしかしたら君もセルンに利用されたのかもしんないね。例えば両親を人質に取られて無理やり研究させられたとか。
嘘。ママが危ないの？
Kurisu's mother is in America. It's not terribly difficult to imagine CERN kidnapping her while Kurisu is away. After all, I watched Moeka kill Mayuri in cold blood.
ラウンダー。
何それ？
セルンの傭兵部隊というところか。
Suzuha nods.
名目上はセルンとは独立した技術調査班って位置づけだけどさ、実態は汚れ役もこなす何でもや。
According to Moeka, they have two chief duties. First, to acquire IBM 5100s, the only computers that can access CERN's secret database. Second, to find promising scientists in the field of time travel and force them to cooperate with CERN, or eliminate them if they will not.
やっぱりこの時代にもすでに存在してるんだね。私はずっとラウンダーの連中と戦ってたんだ。
汚れ役ってことはまさか誘拐とか暗殺とかも。
Suzuha looks to me with a question in her eyes. I shake my head. In my time, yes, but I don't think they've reached that level in this time yet. Daru is visibly relieved. Amane-san, you said that most of what you posted as John Titor was true, right? Right. Does this mean you know how the universe works? You claimed that the Everett Wheeler model, the many worlds interpretation, is correct. That was a lie, camouflage so that CERN wouldn't target me. If I mix one lie into the truth, then the bad apple spoils the barrel. So you don't know. I do. By 2036, scientists have successfully modeled the structure of the universe, and it's not the many worlds interpretation. Really? Tell me. Attractor fields. Right. I told you by mail, didn't I? What sort of model is that? The universe is made up of world lines and attractor fields. Suzuha walks over to Mayuri's sewing table and picks up a ball of red yarn. She holds one end of the yarn and drops the ball to the floor, then holds about a meter of yarn in front of her face.
世界の構造はより糸みたいなものなの。いくつもの可能性世界線が重ね合わせの状態になってて、常に無限個に枝分かれしてってるわけ。全体を見ると一本に見えるけど、ミクロなレベルだとより細い糸が絡み合うように世界を構成してる。そして最終的にはそれらの細い糸は一つに収束する。経過は違うけど結果は同じになる。
So explains why Mayuri keeps dying, is like at the end, that will always happen, but the way it could happen is different.
それって決定論じゃないの？
Determinism, the school of philosophy that states that every event is predetermined by previous events. The past determines the present. The present determines the future. Even though we may think we are acting out of our own free will, in truth, we are only following a predetermined path. Those who subscribe to determinism often cite the thought of experiments of Laplace's demon, for an intellect which at a certain moment would know all forces that set nature into motion, and all positions of all items of what nature is composed. Nothing would be uncertain, and the future, just like the past, would be present before its eyes.
近いかもね。でももうちょっとアバウト。多世界解釈とコペンハーゲン解釈のいいとこ取りって感じ。
分岐はするが結末は同じ。ということは世界は結局一つなのか。
そういうことで、その収束範囲内にある世界線の束がアトラクタフィールド。アトラクタフィールドもたくさんある。このより糸はアトラクタフィールドアルファ。範囲内にあるのはアルファ世界線。
Suzuha then cuts beater lengths of blue, yellow, and white yarn.
青がアトラクタフィールドベータで、黄色がガンマで、白がデルタとして、それぞれベータ世界線やガンマ世界線やデルタ世界線を範囲内にたくさん内包してる。それこそ何億っていう数をね。
She twists the different colored strings together, then stretches them out as one fat, multicolored string.
アトラクタフィールドもこんな風にいくつも重ね合わせ状態になってる。それぞれのアトラクタフィールドごとでは起きる事象も 収束する結果も違う。干渉性は喪失してるわけ。それぞれが独立を保ってる。元をたどれば一つだし、アトラクタフィールドもさらにマクロな視点で見れば収束するけど、そのスパンは何百年っていうレベルなんだ。より大きな分岐と見ればいいかな。
You can think of the attractor fields as very long world lines.
エロゲに例えたらどういうこと？教えて、エロい人。
エロい人なんていない。
いや、エロゲに例えるのは間違っていない。ヒロイン個別ルートがアトラクターフィールドで、その中に出てくる細かい選択肢がそれぞれの世界線だ。しかし最後には必ずトゥルールートに入ってグランドエンディングを迎える。
Kind of like a visual novel. I know that, like, and I think an eroge is that like an erotic visual novel? That's how you have to explain things to certain people. Everybody has their own way of learning. With Mairi, it's bananas, and with Daru, it's porn, essentially.
共通ルートが長いか短いか、それが問題だ。ちなみに僕だったら、せっかくだから妹キャラのアトラクタフィールドを選ぶぜ。
勝手にしろ。
ダメだこいつら。早くなんとかしないと。
私にはそのエロゲってのがよくわかんないんだけど。
真剣に受け取らなくていいわよ。
Let me get this straight. The reason I can't save Mairi is that her death is the event upon which this attractor field converges. What that means the world really is killing Mairi.
でもさ、それじゃ未来を変えるなんて無理じゃね？結局収束しちゃうんでしょ？何をしたって結果は同じじゃん。
That's right. That's why Mairi dies no matter how many times I leap.
今、私たちがいるアトラクタフィールドアルファの範囲外に出るの。
範囲外？
つまりアトラクタフィールドベータにあるベータ世界線に飛び移るってこと。
干渉できないんじゃ。
アトラクタフィールド同士が完全に分岐しちゃったらね。でもまさに分岐しようとしている瞬間なら。
分岐する瞬間、それが今だっていうこと？
So I'm wondering that's why she has very specific times picked, where in the time machine it showed like 1975 at this day at this time, and then this, 2010 August 13th is like that must be the divergent point?
ダイバージェンスが大きく変わる分岐点は2010年にあるって私は教わった。2000年や1991年並みのものすごい大分岐が起きて、アトラクタフィールドレベルで枝分かれするって。なんで2000年と1991年なの？どっちも世界規模の大きな事件があったじゃん。事件？
I think it's pretty obvious that today the big thing would obviously be the creation of this time machine. That's a pretty big life, time-shattering, life-shattering event.
1991年はソ連崩壊だな。だが2000年は2001年なら同時多発テロがあったが。
2000年は2000年問題の年だよ。
はあ？あれって騒がれた割には結局大した問題は起きなかったぞ。
Are they saying maybe in a divergence, maybe in an alternate timeline, in one of the other ones, maybe Y2K did happen?
それは今私たちがいるこのアルファ世界線が2000年問題が起きなかった可能性世界だから。
That is so interesting. Oh my gosh. It's crazy to think if this is a true thing, that the timeline we're in is like just certain things just didn't happen that could just change the whole world. So in other words, there are worlds where it did occur.
そして2010年。今年って何か大きな事件起きたかな？今年最大の事件は
Suzuha looks towards the development room.
人類史上初のタイムマシン開発成功以外に何があるっての？あ、そっか、 そうだよね。すごい。
もう一つ疑問が。
Oh, Myri, she's so excited not knowing that that causes her death. Kurisu keeps plowing ahead. I guess that's what makes her a scientist.
重ね合わせ状態にある世界線ってパラレルワールドってわけじゃないんでしょ。
Parallel world, a universe that exists separate from ours. It is believed that some parallel worlds may be strikingly similar to ours, even containing duplicates of ourselves.
違うよ。あくまで可能性世界線が同時に存在しているだけ。
そうだとして世界線間の観測はどうやるの？神の視点でも持たなきゃ無理なんじゃない？
普通ならね。でも
Suzuha looks at me. Don't tell me.
リーディングしたいなか。
そういうネーミングなの？岡部倫太郎には世界線を越えて観測ができるっていう特殊な力がある。そうよね。
ああ。
He's like, vindicated? In your face, Kurisu.
それが鍵になる。君の特殊な力が世界をセルンの支配っていう呪縛から解き放つ鍵。今の君は神に匹敵する存在なんだよ。
Okay, wow, that's a good way to develop an ego.
俺の力が。
And that's what, yes, that's right. Because she was John Titor, right? John Titor said the same thing, called him a god.
アトラクタフィールドアルファの範囲外、ベータ世界線へ到達すれば収束する結果も変わる。
I feel a shiver of excitement.
助けられるのか。
I can save Myri? Suzuha nods firmly. Then I must do it. I have no choice.
ちょっと待って。
Kurisu, however, is not so enthusiastic.
それ本当に全部正しいの？天音さんの妄想が混じってる可能性は？
なに？妄想なんか混じってないよ。
落ち着け。別に喧嘩を売ってるわけじゃない。ただ疑問なのよ。そもそもどうしてあなたは岡部が持ってる力とか2010年の岡部や私がこの秋葉原にいるって知ってたの？2017年生まれにしては詳しすぎじゃない？
She has a point. Everyone looks to Suzuha.
父さんの遺書にそうあった。
His will?
遺書ってどういうこと？私がタイムトラベルを決意したのは父さんの遺書を読んだから。父さんは私が所属してるレジスタンスの設立メンバーの一人で、セルンとは別にタイムマシンの研究をしてたの。
And this is what she means when so she is trying to find her father in the past, maybe get some more information or just to like, to see him.
未来を変えるための研究をね。でも父さんもセルンに殺されて。
So he would have had to know all of these things. Wait. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. So she's talking about, so if the dad knows all these things, these very specific things about Okabe's power, and so I was gonna, at first I'm like, is Okabe her father? But she says that he's a terrorist in 2036. So he's still alive, I assume? So that means the only other person it could be, is she saying Daru is her father? Because Daru knows about Okabe's, he always talks about his reading Steiner, and obviously he would know about the time machine and What? So I'm like, is Okabe her father, or is Daru her father?
だから私は父さんの意志を継いでここにいる。
I am confused. Maybe someone else is going to come in later, and maybe that's going to be the father, but I don't know.
ごめんなさい。
Suzuha doesn't look at Kurisu. It's funny, first I was thinking like, Suzuha and Kurisu's father are the same, and now I'm like, maybe it's one of these two guys. She still seems to have a grudge against her. Kurisu would never actively cooperate with SERN. I know that, but I just can't say it in front of Suzuha. For some reason, Suzuha really does see Kurisu as responsible for the problems of the future. But if that's the case, why doesn't Suzuha just kill Kurisu? Haha! Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that was in another timeline? Maybe she did. Wouldn't that change the future? Maybe she did do that and it didn't do anything, so she's like, alright, I might as well keep her alive. Maybe she can't. World lines converge. No matter how hard I struggle, Mayuri dies. Similarly, it may be impossible for Suzuha to kill Kurisu, no matter how much she may want to. Suzuha clears her throat as if to change the subject. I want to get into that thing that happened at the very beginning with Kurisu. Who did that?
2010年の秋葉原、ここでタイムマシンが作られたことでセルンのタイムマシン開発が加速した。それを阻止する方向に歴史を導くことが必要なんだよ。
阻止ってどうやって？
セルンは俺たちの存在に気づいている。
That's clear from Moaka's attack.
原因は君たちが一番最初にタイムマシンを使った時のメールデータだと思う。父さんはそう予測してた。
メールデータ？ハッキングがバレたのではなく？
だから僕のハッキングはバレてないって言ってんだろ？
でもメールデータって
あれじゃないかな。クリスちゃんが死んじゃったっていうオカリンのメール。
Yes, yes, are we gonna get into this? Yes. Right, the email I sent to Daru right after Dr. Nakabachi's conference.
ああ、あれね。
Back then, we hadn't yet realized that the phone wave, named subject to change, was a time machine.
その時空を超えたメールもきっと捉えられてる。
あの時からもうバレていたと。
Come to think of it, the first time I met Moaka was the day after I sent that email.
泳がされてたんだな、僕ら。
マユシーはね、平泳ぎが得意だよ。
はいはい、水中 M 字開脚、水中 M 字開脚。
しかし一体どうやって補足を？メールなんて世界中で1日に何億という数が送られているんだぞ。
セルンはエシュロンのネットワークを利用して世界規模でタイムマシンについての情報を収集してるの。
Right, Echelon. According to conspiracy theorists, Echelon is an advanced signals interpretation system based in the United States and operated by the National Security Agency. However, American authorities have never publicly admitted to Echelon's existence, and no proof that it exists has ever been found. Participating countries allegedly include the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, but not France. As an ally of the United States, Japan can allow the construction of domestic Echelon stations in exchange for access to intercepted data. The Elephant Cage antenna array located at Misawa Air Base in Amori, Japan is rumored to be one such station. These stations are said to intercept, collect, and analyze a wide range of signals, including private cell phone transmissions. Once again, are these things real? Like this antenna at this airbase, is that a real thing in real life? I mean, we know that the NSA is a real thing, so I'm like, once again, I guess conspiracy theorists can say whatever they want, and it's not like the NSA is going to track, like, a game down for implying that it's doing all these things, but it's still funny that they use real-world things. Just like with CERN, right?
エシュロンだと本当に実在していたのか？
As an expert on conspiracies, I understand the implications, and that terrifies me. No one else seems to get what Suzuha's saying, though.
セルンはさ、自分たち以外のタイムトラベル研究についてエシュロンで常にアンテナを張って監視してるんだよ。
For example, an email that appeared to have come from the future.
だから捉えられた最初のメールデータをセルンのコンピューターから消去しなきゃ。そうすればセルンは君たちには気づかない。タイムマシンが2034年に完成することもなくなる。それどころかタイムマシンの研究そのものが頓挫するかも。
In other words, deleting that data will take us to the Attractor field where CERN doesn't build a time machine.
でもセルンのデータベースはハックしたけど、それっぽいデータはなかったような。
And then we have to find the IBN still.
おお、
そうか。 IBN5100 で構築されていたあのデータベースか。
あの中にきっとエシュロンから集めたデータが蓄積されてる。
So that's where it is, or that's what it is.
誰よ、なぜもっと早く IBN5100 を使わなかったのだ。
いや、使わなかったのだとか言われても、そもそも持ってないし。
何を言っている。俺が手に入れてきたではないか。
はい。
Right, that was on a different world line. On this world line, I never found the IBN 5100.
私の役割はさ、君たちに IBN5100 を託すことなんだよ。
We never got any word back from Ferris, right? So maybe we should go talk to Ferris about that.
持っているのか。
Suzuha shakes her head.
1975年に行って手に入れる。
1975, the year the IBN 5100 went to market. I know because the John Titor in 2000 said that was his mission. Was that John Titor Suzuha too? Anyway, if Suzuha can get us an IBN 5100, then we can leave this attractor field and jump to a beta world line where SERN never finds us and their time machine is never completed. Mayuri won't have to die.
よし、ならば全は急げだ。鈴葉には今すぐにでも1975年に飛んでもらおう。
But is she able to bring back something from the... I'm confused, because they talked about how you can't bring physical things back from, like, the past or the future. So, I'm a little confused about how that works.
そうしたいのは山々なんだけど。
Oh, but it's broken. Suzuha bows her head apologetically. I look at her burnt hand. She's hiding it from Mayuri and Daru, but I can see the blood staining my handkerchief. It hurts to look at. Maybe we should get her to a doctor.
タイムマシンは壊れているんだったな。
直せないの？
無理。私は父さんが作ったものに乗ってきただけだから。
This is like making me even more convinced that the father is either Okabe or Daru.
仕組みそのものはマニュアルを完璧に暗記してるけど。
And if one of those two can fix the time machine, then I think we'll know who the father is if I'm on the right track with this. That doesn't mean she doesn't know how to repair it. Or that doesn't mean she knows how to repair it, and there's no guarantee that a time machine from 2036 can be repaired with today's technology.
タイムリープマシンで遡るのは？天音さんのタイムマシンが壊れる前へ。
っていうか、タイムリープマシン使う気なん？実験しないってことでファイナルアンサーじゃなかった？
I still haven't told Daru about my time leaping. There's no time to explain.
場合によっては使う。それで鈴葉よ、いつ壊れたかわかるか？
きっとこの前の深夜に降った雨だよ。マシンの中水浸しになってたから密閉されてるはずなのに。
So as long as it was in the past 2 days, we're okay, but after that, we're fucked.
あんだけ派手にビルに激突してんだし、その時に穴でも開いたんじゃね？
あれは激突したんじゃないよ。座標計算にわずかな誤差があったせいであそこに出現しちゃっただけ。あのマシンって結構不安定なんだよね。
それで雨が降ったのは何日だった？
10日の朝、夜明け前には降っていた。
No, we need the 11th. The time leap machine can only cover 48 hours in a single leap. And the time leap machine was completed today, the 13th at 2 p.m. That means we can't go farther back than 2 p.m. on the 11th.
ダメだ。タイムリープマシンじゃ届かない。
I thought we had a glimmer of hope.
直す努力はしてみるべきだと思うわけだが。
そうだよ。タイムマシンならね、時間はあんまり関係ないもん。
Kurisu, Suzuha, and I say nothing. We know. In less than 2 hours, Mayuri will die. It's already 5:30 p.m. There's barely enough time to sneak into Radicon, let alone fix Suzuha's time machine. Maybe I should leap now to 2 p.m. on the 11th. Then we'll have 2 full days to fix the machine.
みんな、小腹が空いただろう。空いたはずだ。
いきなりなんぞ？
まゆしは腹ペコです。
As expected from a glutton. I take a 10,000 yen bill out of my wallet.
まゆり、ダル、買い出しに行ってきてくれ。それを食べながら、改めて対策を練ろうではないか。
Where did you get that money from?
オカリ、こんな大金どうするの？
He's just been hiding money all this time, talking about how he has no money.
これで買ってこいと言っているのだ。釣りはいらんというより、全部使い切ってこい。
平然と1万円もおごってみせる。さすがオカリン、僕たちにできないことをやってのける。そこにしびれる、憧れる。
That's all you need for a cult, apparently, is just to make sure they're well fed. Mayuri and Daru leave in high spirits. I knew the 10,000 yen bill would work.
クリスティーナ、それにタイターよ。
タイターって私のこと？
他に誰がいる？
なんでいきなり呼び方変わんの？
タイターの中の人だからだ。
そうだけどさ。
無駄よ。岡部がまともに名前を呼ぶことなんてめったにないから。諦めて。
そういえば私もバイト選手とかって妙な呼ばれ方しかされてなかった。
二人とも聞け。俺は11日の14時にタイムリープする。そこでタイターから改めて今の説明をしてもらう。その上で今のこの時間、13日17時までにタイムマシンを修理する。
当てはあるの？
今から2時間もがくよりはマシという程度だ。直せなければ何度でも2日間を繰り返せばいい。
ごめん。
タイターよ、お前には必ず IBN5100 を手に入れてもらわなければならない。これはお前のためでも未来のためでもない。あくまでマユリを助けるためのミッションであることを忘れるな。独善的だと言いたければ言えばいい。だが俺は誰の指図も受ける気はない。
Kurisu and Suzuha give an encouraging nod in agreement.
よし、作戦開始だ。
作戦名は言わないのか？
Who cares about that? This isn't a game. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. Oh, look at him. He's growing up. And I like that Kurisu's kind of like loosening up a little bit, although maybe not the best time considering there's a lot at stake right now.
北欧神話でいいネーミング候補が見つからなかった？
なんで北欧神話？
深い意味はないと思う。あえて言うなら、中二病患者はゲルマン系ネーミングが大好きだからってところじゃない？
そういえば私がいたレジスタンスでも作戦名はほとんどゲルマン系のネーミングだったな。なんでって聞いたら、これは伝統だとかなんとか言われた。
Okay, so did she say her father was in the resistance? So maybe the father... She said that Okabe was a terrorist. Yeah, okay. I'm really dumb. That doesn't make any sense. He can't be her father because she said that she found his will, and she says that Okabe is a terrorist in the future, so he's not dead yet. She didn't say he was a terrorist. She said he is a terrorist. So I'm still wondering if Okabe can't be the father. I'm wondering if my Daru theory is correct.
26年後にも中二病患者っているんだな。
But maybe they took that from Okabe. Maybe he led the resistance, or he had some influence in it. Or maybe if she said Daru was part of the resistance, maybe he took that, Okabe's, what he does with naming things like that, and he used that in honor of him? I don't know.
くだらない会話をしているな。
I want to go to the future. I want to see what it's like there. I want to see Okabe in the future, fighting SERN. Mayuri's life hangs in the balance. There's no time for this nonsense. Kurisu sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mayuri returns, I leap. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice. First at 2 p.m. on the 13th, when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. I wonder if this is going to have some sort of effect on his body. I think even Kurisu warned him, like, if you do this too much, this could affect you. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radicon to confirm my story. After she realizes I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine.
じゃあ早速見に行ってみるべき。
I like the fact that they're just immediately on board with it and I don't have to spend like 20 minutes trying to convince them that, you know, I have leapt from the future. Daru isn't usually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping.
ちょっと待って待って。
Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab.
ねえねえ、みんなもう一つ忘れてるよ。
もう一つなんぞ？
すずさんのお父さんは今はどこにいるの？
Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away.
父さんのことはどうでもいいでしょ？どうでもよくないよ。それにタイムマシンを直すのに時間かかるんでしょ？だったらその間マユシーはすずさんのお父さんを探そうかなと思って。
Oh, I'm so excited to see if I'm right or if I'm wrong like I always am.
どう？
いや
When I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks.
ああ、オカリンってばダメなんだよ。約束はね、ちゃんと守らなきゃ。
What promise?
この前約束したでしょ。すずさんのお父さんはみんなで探そうって。
That's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father.
そうだったな。
あのね、すずさんがここに来たのはね、使命とかもあるけど、やっぱりお父さんに会いたかったからかなって思って。もしそうならマユシーは会わせてあげたいです。
If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse.
椎名まゆり、君っていい子だね。
Suzuha sniffles.
その通りだよ。この町に来れば会えると思ったの。父さんはさ、2010年に秋葉原にいたことは分かってるんだ。
本当にいるのか？
いるよ。失礼だな。この時代ならきっとまだ若くてかっこいいね。
Hmm.
名前はバレルタイターだったか。
Hmm.
うん、そう。ああ、外国人さん？うん、多分日本人。バレルタイターはレジスタンス時代のコードネームだから、今の2010年の時点だとまだそう名乗ってないと思う。
So that's why Suzuha calls herself John Titor.
父さんの本名はさ、私知らないんだ。実の娘なのにね。
Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile.
教えてくれなかったし、聞かせてもらう前に死んじゃったから。
Hearing that, I realize how hellish the world she came from must be.
ではアモネという名はどこから？
母さんのせいだよ。
つまり手がかりはなし。
手がかり。あ、そういえば。
Suzuha claps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out...
ピンバッジ？
I've seen Suzuha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag.
なんか書いてあるよ。
It reads OSHM blank 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 A7010.
これ父さんの形見なんだよね。
形見。
誰？ググってみろ。
Dara runs a search but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
父さんは秋葉原周辺にいたらしいからさ、海外のサイトは抜きにして考えていいと思う。
日本語でオケってことか。
He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. But even that, none of the results look relevant.
全然わかんねえ。
でもこれはきっとヒントになるよ。
With Suzuha's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
というわけで、すずさんのお父さん探しに賛成の人。
I want to argue that there's no time for that. But Mayuri's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now.
反対はしない。
おかりんありがとう。
Dara raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzuha find her father.
みんなサンキュー。でも私はあくまで1975年へ行くことを優先したい。それが父さんの意思だったからさ。ってなわけでタイムマシン修理のめどが立ったら父さんを探すのは諦めるってことでどうかな。それでいいの？そんだけ探して見つかんないならさ、つまり会える運命になかったってことだと思うし。
It's a relief to hear Suzuha say that.
で、どうやって探すん？
ピンバッジしかヒントはないのだ。これを元にするしかないだろう。餅は餅屋とも言うし、マニアなショップを当たってみるか。
マニアなショップって？
秋葉にはマニア御用達のアンダーグラウンドなショップが数多くあるだろう。
It's hard to sneak into Rodicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 p.m. on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father.
どうだ？
I call to Daru, who's examining the flooded time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care not to be noticed.
この中、むちゃくちゃ熱い件について。蒸し風呂ってレベルじゃねえぞ。この炎天下でマシンの中にいたら干物になるねマジで。ちなみにこのマシンバランス崩して下に落ちたりしないよな。
The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about.
治りそう？
いや、まだ確証はないけど、 でもさ、ちょっと触ってみて気づいたんだよね。これってなんか電話レンジと似てるかもって。
じゃあ直せる可能性もあるんだな。
All the more reason I'm like, it's gotta be one of the guys, right? Because it's like if they have knowledge, they use the knowledge from the phone wave, from making the phone wave to making this thing. I am more convinced that I might be right.
いや、だから確証はないって。もうちょっと調べないと。
I'm thinking it's either Daru or maybe Okabe by some... Maybe he's the father too?
誰よ、スーパーハカーよ。全てはお前の腕にかかっていると言っていい。世界を救ったスーパーハカー。お前は2036年においてタイムマシンの母マキセ・クリスに代わり人々から崇め立てまつられることになるだろう。
ハカーじゃなくてハッカーって言えっつってんだろう。
とにかく2日で何とかしてくれ、ダル。
I placed my hand on Daru's shoulder and looked straight into his eyes.
お前だけが頼りなんだ。
自信はないよ。そもそもなんで2日なん？
それは
Because that's when Mayuri will die, but I can't say that.
2日後がさ、リング得意点を作るのに一番いい気象条件なんだよ。それを逃すとあと1年は次のチャンスがないわけ。
Nice excuse, Suzuha.
そうだ。そう
2日で直せとか無茶言うなっつーの。
ならばそんなお前にフェイリスと1日デートできる権利をやる。
There you go.
やってくれるな。
いいですとも。
Great. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Ferris. We haven't seen Ferris in a while. Can I call her? Just see what she's up to? OSHM blank 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 A 7010. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. We check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. The thing is, too, look for Mane, right? A girl, like, if we could look up a database and look for... I'm sure there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people with that name, but, like, if we could find who this mother is, maybe that might give us some information. We even checked nearby neighborhoods like Oano and Asakusa. Nothing. Susa and I returned to the lab with heavy hearts.
おかえり。
Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone.
その顔じゃ成果はなしか。
ダルは
戻ってない。暗くなったし直接帰ったんじゃない？
It's too dark to work at Radicon now. We can't use lights because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Suzuha's father?
なんか悪いね。こんなことしてる場合じゃないのにさ。
Like, I know Mayuri won't be killed for 2 days, but I kind of, like, wanna see if she's okay. Will it allow me to call her and see? Like, I don't want to let her out of my sight too much, but it's not gonna let me. Okay.
お前のためではない。すべてはマユリを助けるためだ。
I start up Daru's computer and search for the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Freebara where everyone shows off their collections. I post there asking for information. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears.
セルンの襲撃！
I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzuha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I check the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m.
起こしてくれたのか。助かる。
別にモーニングコールしたわけじゃない。
Uh-oh, what's
岡部
up?
倫太郎に見てほしいものがあってさ、起こしてもらったの。
I realize that there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me.
これは
ダイバージェンスメーター。今私たちがいるこの世界線がどこなのかを数値で表すことができるんだよ。
The meter displays 0.337187%.
私がもともといた2036年の世界線を 0% とした数値だから、あくまで相対的なものなんだけどさ。
作ったのか。
ううん、2036年から持ってきた。
うん、これはニキシー缶だな。いいセンスだ。未来ガジェット9号に認定したいぐらいだ。
I'm so confused. I keep thinking that if people leap into the past, they're not able to bring things with them, but maybe I'm mistaken, because I'm like, if that was the case, then Okabe could bring, like, maybe take a picture of the finished phone wave or something, or take notes about how the phone wave was created into the time leap machine, bring that back in time, and show it to Kurisu so she could finish the time machine quicker. I don't know if that would work. I'm a little confused about kind of the rules of this, about being able to bring like physical information versus just like memories of things. Like, could he bring notes of things and bring that back in time? I was like, is there a way that he could make this easier on himself if he could bring physical objects back in time?
これ一体どういう仕組みなの？世界線の数値化なんて可能とは思えない。
Suzuha shrugs.
私もわかんない。
わからない。
これ作ったの誰か知ってる？
How should I know?
君だよ。岡部倫太郎。
Oh, I was gonna say her father, but
は？
君が作った。確か今から11年後ぐらいに君の持ってる特殊な力を応用させたらしいよ。
そうなのか。
このメーターがあれば岡部以外でも世界線の変動を確認できる、そういうことか。
違う違う。多分ここに表示されてる数値が変化してもそれに気づけるのは岡部倫太郎だけ。
は？それじゃあ意味ないじゃない。もっとまともなもの作りなさいよ、岡部。
I ignore Kurisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
これの仕組みは作った本人しか知らない。だから知りたかったら11年待つしかないかな。そうすれば自分で答えを見つけられるはずだから。
未来で俺と会ったのか。
She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. Here's the thing I need to know. Is he alive in 2036? Because if he is, then he's not her father. For some reason, Suzuha's expression darkens momentarily.
一度もないよ。
そうか。で、このメーターを今ここで俺に見せた意味は？
メーターの数値が 1% を超えた時、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
1%？
そう、 1% を突破さえできたら椎名真由里は助けられるっていうこと。
I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6%. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
これは君にあげる。どうせ私が持ってても意味ないしね。有意義に使ってよ。
Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut, from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I am unable to find anything that resembles Suzuha's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then a street vendor catches my eye. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzuha's? I don't see the OSHM blank blank A7010 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I'd better ask, just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His are as bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Damn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with.
Hey, master! I am mad scientist. So cool! Son of a bitch!
Oh my god. Oh my god, I need a whole game with him just talking. Oh, what he thinks is American.
Hi, 何ですか?
He smiles a wide, toothy smile. Nice teeth, and answers in Japanese. Son of a bitch. I was hoping for more of a reaction.
ちょっと聞きたいことがある。
I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket.
これに見覚えが?
The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in the exaggerated manner typical of Westerners.
これの出所が知りたい。調べることはできないか?
思い出し。Sorry, ちょっと難しいですね。
What is he saying?
By the way, これはどこで手に入れたものなんですか?
それを知りたい。報酬は出す。
ごめんなさい。
He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
Okabe Rintaro.
Suzuha's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite, Dr. P. No, wait, that's cola.
Please. 飲む?
I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on her way to Konda to continue the search. How long has she been standing there?
成果は?
なし。それよりさっきの英語何? なんかバカっぽかった。そう、クール。
Should have had Kurisu there and she would have been more help.
この時代だと、ああいう英語が標準なの?
そんなわけあるか?
そうなんだ。じゃあ、岡部倫太郎オリジナルか。
It must be weird for her.
私の生まれた時代にはさ、海外旅行なんてなかったから、よくわかんないんだよね。
I was gonna say, it must be so weird for her to hear all these stories about Okabe being like a terrorist and it seems like he's some sort of anti-hero, and then to just meet him in person and he's just like a big dork.
海外旅行がない? 行ったことがないではなく?
そう。旅行なんて娯楽はなかったな。渡航許可はめったに下りなかったし。だから、外国人を見たのはこの時代に来てから。
So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like that a few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like SERN set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suzuha's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by SERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't we find any information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suzuha's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Kurisu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? The only thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father.
もしかして近年中に作られるピンバッジなんだろうか。まだできていないとか。
Suzuha stretches and looks at me with a calm smile.
やっぱさ、父さんとは会えない運命なんだって。こんだけ探してもないんだから、もう無理無理、全然無理だね。
I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am stewing in self-loathing and she acts like it doesn't matter?
諦めるのか。まだあと1日残っているぞ。
何怒ってんの？
みんなお前のためを思って頑張っているのだと分かっているのか。
Oh, it'd be so amazing. I really want Okabe to be her father because that would be hilarious.
俺だってマユリを助けることを何より優先したいんだ。それでもお前はラボメンであり仲間だ。その仲間が困っているから助けたい。そんなマユリの気持ちを汲んでこうして探しているのに、お前が真っ先に諦めてどうする。
怒鳴んないでよ。
あまり俺を萎えさせるな。
I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over. There's no time for this.
悪かったよ。でも君さ、言い方が上から目線すぎると思うよ。
I realize that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath.
言い過ぎたのなら謝る。
It's too awkward to make eye contact, so I look around pretending to think.
さてこれからどうするか。
I wonder how the other lab mems are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Can I maybe check? Every other time I've done it, it hasn't let me do it. Let's call... Oh my god, I can! Oh, okay, so there's Daru. There's Mayuri. Oh my god, I can! I can, cool. And then... Assistant. I'll call John Titor, who's standing right in front of me. Oh, I want to call Mocha and be like, we know what's going on. Can I call Ferris? Luca? Oh man, I haven't heard from Luca in so long. I want to call... Okay, let's talk to Daru. Oh, I'm proud of myself. I actually did it. I actually got it to work.
ほいほい。
俺だ。状況は。
いつ聞いてもその唐突感にはなれないでござる。
そんなことは聞いていない。タイムマシンの状況はどうなのだ。
あえて言おう。干からびると。
うん。
なんかリアクションくだされ。なんとなくどうすればいいかは見えてきたよ。
本当か。
まあな。
援軍に行った方がいいか。
そうだね。できれば天音市に来ていただきたい。無人のラジカン屋上で二人きり。うだるような暑さに僕らは恥ずかしさも忘れて服を脱ぎ。
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, if Daru is her father. Ew. Ew. God, now I hope that that's not true.
干からびて死ね。
だが断る。そっちはどう？ピンバッジ見つかった？
いや、苦戦中だ。
手がかりらしいものもなし。
ああ。
そっか。もどかしいな。
こっちももう少し粘ってみるつもりだ。夕方にはそっちに行く。
That gives me 2 more hours today to search for the pin. If that fails, tomorrow morning will be our last chance. These 2 extra days have gone by faster than expected. It's early evening, but the roof of Radicon is still hotter than hell. When I provide Daru with the refreshing gift of Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face.
ここはキンキンに冷えたカロリーゼロのコーラだろう。常識的に考えて。
I forget he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. Somehow I feel like he didn't actually forget. He's just like, oh, well, don't want it to go to waste. Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away.
ねえねえオカリン、あの人工衛星がタイムマシンだったなんてびっくりしたね。
ああ、そうだな。
I thought that Titor's time machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect the satellite. I should know better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Titor only started posting afterwards. I'm disappointed at myself for not realizing the connection.
ビルに突き刺さっちゃってるけど、すずさんが無事でよかったね。
I doubt it was anything like a crash. It probably just appeared there, displacing the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, the time machine isn't self-propelled. It doesn't fly.
あれって操作がとっても難しいんだって。
I guess she heard that from Suzuha.
重力うんたらかんたら装置の座標がちょっとでもずれるとね、タイムマシンごとゼリーマンになっちゃってプルンプルンかなんだそうです。しかもね、あのタイムマシンってセルン製じゃないからあんまり安定してないって。1975年に行く時が心配だな。二人乗りだったらね、一緒に行ってあげられたのにね。
お前が一緒に行ってどうするのだ。
決まってるよ。すずさんの手をギューって握ってね。大丈夫、マユシーが一緒だから大丈夫だよって応援してあげるの。
She is so cute. Something tells me that won't be much help.
ねえねえオカリン、あのタイムマシンって名前はついてるのかな。
名前か。
That's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. That's how you really know he's grown up, is he's not naming things anymore. Still giving out nicknames to people. Time permitting, I'd like to spend a whole day picking Suzuha's brain. I'm pretty sure John Titor's time machine had a model number. Maybe that thing on the pin is that whatever is on that pin, maybe that is the name? That is the model number of the satellite? Or the time machine, I should say. But the John Titor from 2000 might not have been Suzuha. There was no John Titor in 2000 on this world line after all. Although, I suppose it's possible that Suzuha will drop by 2000 after traveling to 1975.
気になるならタイターに直接聞けばいい。
そうだね。マユシうっかりしてたよ。
Mayuri giggles and runs up to talk to Suzuha. She comes back quickly.
名前あった。
どんな名前だったんだ。
FG204 なんとかなんとかだって。
Something something?
っていうかね、ダルくんとスズさんって結構お似合いだと思わない？
No. Once again, if my theory is right, no, get that idea out of your head.
はあ？
Mayuri's jumping all over the place today. I look at Daru and Suzuha again.
お似合いか？ダルはそもそもフェイリス萌えなのだぞ。
あ、そっか。そうなのかな。
She tilts her head to the side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. I prefer to leave Daru and Suzuha to it and resume the search for Suzuha's father, but Mayuri seems happy just sitting here. We don't have any leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitter's talk. Like I told Suzuha, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until we do.
そういえばマユリ、コス作りはどうした？
There's only a few more days until Kamima. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costumes done. Has that changed?
あのね、もう2着はできてるよ。楓ちゃんと吹雪ちゃんの分。
3着目はルカ子に来てもらうためのものだったか。
そうなんだけどね、ルカちゃんが説得できなかったから 今回は諦めたの。ねえねえ、マユシーもタイムマシンもっとよく見てきていいかな。
誰たちの邪魔はするなよ。
She really is like a kid, like, can I see it? It's like, okay, but don't get it in the way of the adults. Mayuri beams happily, then runs over to the time machine. She's acting like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. After a few minutes watching the sunset in silence, I realize that Suzuha is standing beside me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky.
橋田至ってすごいね。タイムマシンさ、突貫工事とはいえうまくすると明日には直せるかもって。
ラルの実力は折り紙付きだ。
見た目は不摂生そうで冴えない感じなのにね。
見た目で判断するな。
考えを改める。さ、今言わないと機会を永遠に逃しちゃいそうだから言うけど。
なんだ、大げさだな。
私さ、君たちには本当に感謝してるんだ。初めてこの時代に来た時、私の知ってる人は誰もいなくて、戦ってばっかりだった私の時代とは全然違ってて、この時代の方がすごく平和なのにさ、なんだか私にとってはすごく怖かった。でもさ、今こうして自分の全てを晒せる友達、仲間ができた。私が生まれる前に生きていた人たちと出会えて、私のためなんかにみんな頑張ってくれてる。それってとっても奇妙で、だけどとっても嬉しいんだよね。その気持ちは本当だから。
Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can.
この時代に来ることができて、君たちと同じ時間を過ごせて、私本当に楽しかった。っていうか、君たちみんな揃いも揃って我が強くて、癖があっていろいろと濃すぎて、最初はなんだこいつらなんて思ってたけどさ、いつの間にか君たちといる時間が楽しくなってたよ。2036年はさ、とっても平和で喧嘩すら起きないんだ。知ってた？
知るわけがない。俺は2036年まで生きていないからな。
Wait, what? He's not alive in 2036? So he did die?
そっか、ごめん。
I'm so confused. I thought he... Oh, okay, so maybe he could be her father. I thought he was still alive.
とにかくさ、喧嘩すら起きない。およそ争いって名のつくものは、ミクロなものからマクロなものまで全部消えちゃった。
I gotta say, considering I know that there's a dating, like a dating spin-off of this game, that'd be real fucking weird if Okabe is her father and you can, like, date her. So I extra hope that's not... I'm really bouncing back and forth, but I'm like, that would be fun if he was her dad. I'm like, wait, no, it wouldn't be, actually.
その代わり、みんな死んだ魚みたいな目をしてた。誰も覇気がなくて、歩く足はズリズリってすり足で、笑いはするけど怒ったり悲しんだりはしなくて、個性なんて誰も持ってなかった。みんなロボットみたいだった。この前君が私にすごく怒ったでしょ。あの時さ、すごくびっくりして、すごくショックだったんだけど、同時にすごく嬉しくなったんだよ。
変なやつだな。
確かに。
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
君のラボに出入りしてるみんなは 生き生きしててすごく眩しい。椎名真由里も橋田至も牧瀬クリスも、それに君も。
何をバカな。
There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri.
私もみんなみたいになりたいって思ったよ。
俺からすればお前こそすごいと思うぞ。
そう言ってもらえると嬉しいかも。
The way they're talking, it does seem very father-daughter. I don't know what to think.
こうして頑張れてるのも君たちと会えたおかげ。ほんのちょっとでもラボメンの一員になれてよかった。
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean?
ほんのちょっとの間でも君たちと一緒にいられてよかった。
鈴葉？
岡部倫太郎、きっと未来を変えてね。今みたいな自由な世界に変えて。
おい、どうしたんだ。なぜそんなに感傷的なのだ。
Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so can't she just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realize how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBN 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and the 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future is an awful place. But even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father, Beryl Titor. All of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental.
タイムマシンが治ったらまた盛大に宴会を開こう。
Thank you.
And yet she's still smiling that sorrowful smile. Afterwards, I hit the streets again in search of the pin. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and tried searching the internet. A couple of hours later, and still no luck. So far, I've accomplished absolutely nothing. My frustration is mounting. I can time leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? An unfamiliar number. Who is it?
俺だ。
Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro.
Oh! The voice is heavily accented. I can barely make it out. Who is this guy?
セルンか。
I jump to my feet and scan the room, then run to the window and check the road below. Hopefully Kurisu's there so she can, talk to him, since she knows English. No suspicious figures in sight. Kurisu comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside.
セルンとは何です？
I gulp and carefully choose my words.
名乗ってもらおう。
おたくはもうアフタヌーンうちのファクトリーに問い合わせに来てテレフォンナンバーを教えていったですよ。
お前は何を言っているんだ。
No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain connecting synapses. That's right. It's that foreign street vendor I met this afternoon in Akiba.
特定した。Nice to meet you.
どういたしまして。私自主制作してます。Yesterday night ゲストが come here の思い出し。そのゲストがメイクプリンスピンバッジがユウが持ってきたやつとセイムだったのよ。
I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it.
今すぐそっちに行く。
Uh-oh, hopefully that's not a CERN guy. I go to the same spot as before. Although his stand has already closed, the Westerner is waiting for me. This is what I worried is by taking a picture of that pin, maybe CERN identified it and are tracking it and are waiting for him.
Oh, Okabe! Hello!
そのゲストとやらはどこ行った？
クライアント come here なのは yesterday なことよろしい。
The blue-eyed white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered.
そいつの連絡先は？住所氏名は？
ドクです。ゲストはシミュレーションだけ。プライベートインフォメーションは nothing.
What? So last night someone came by wanting to make a metal pin with the same design as Suzuha's. But he died of poisoning? The guess was just a simulation, so there's no private information? I'm not following. Can we call Kurisu and be like, Kurisu, please talk to him? Probably not gonna work, but... Assistant? No. Okay.
ジャパニーズやっとプライベートインフォメーションの重要さについてスタディらしい。過敏神経になったよね。
That doesn't help.
If ゲストがネームはテレフォンナンバー残っていったかよ。ノリーク、それがビジネス。
Fatigue suddenly weighs down my shoulders. I don't understand a word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Kurisu to speak English for me. Okay, can I call her now? Kurisu, please help. Damn it. Okay. I guess I'll just have to wing it.
そいつはどういうやつだった？男か女か？
Well, so young or so middle. ジャパニーズは顔ヤングね。ルックだけじゃ no understand.
特徴は？
特徴？やはり柔道 or プロレスラー？
なんだ？柔道？プロレスラー？それがどうしたんだ？
The only person I can think of is Mr. Braun, but he's not very young looking.
Yes!
That wasn't a yes or no question. What the hell do you mean?
ああ、バルーン！バルーンだよ！
バルーン？柔道？プロレス？
Good!
No, not good. Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs off. Okay, so balloon, judo, pro wrestler, young or middle Japanese. Okay. I consider chasing him, but decide against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end, and we have barely any time left to find Beryl Titor. I can time leap again starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Looks like all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, then leap to the time the suspicious character appears at the stand. Kurisu carefully connects the two cords she's holding.
完成。
The time leap machine is complete. It's 2:30 p.m. on the 13th, about 20 minutes later than before. Kurisu walks into the lounge with a satisfied look on her face. It's just her, me, and Suzuha in the lab. I had Daru and Mayuri head to Radicon, ostensibly to work on the time machine.
タイムリープマシーンか。
Suzuha gazes at the now complete machine in awe. I've already explained to her how time leaping works. It's as different as can be from Suzuha's time machine, which can physically displace actual bodies. Oh, right. That explains why Suzuha can bring physical objects. That's right, she's bringing her whole self and not just the memories.
未来の記憶を思い出させるっていうのは面白いよね。
Suzuha crosses her hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling.
空想とか、もしかしてっていう推測とか、あと直感、デジャブ、そういうのってさ、実際には未来の記憶を思い出してるのかもしれないかもって、ちょっと2036年時点だと、記憶は世界戦艦の自分との情報伝達手段かもしれないって説もセルンの研究者から出てるんだ。それと似たようなものなのかも。
岡部の力、リーディングシュタイナーがどういう仕組みなのか分かればいいんだけど、岡部だけの特殊能力なのか、それとも全人類がその資質を持ってるけど岡部だけがたまたまより強い能力を持っていただけなのか。
一つ確かなことがある。意識は記憶とともに過去へ飛んだ。
それがなぜなのかいまいち納得いかない。 D メールの時に岡部が体験したような状況と同じになってもいいはずなのに。 記憶に意識は依存してるのかな。
意識って形として存在してるわけじゃないのが厄介だよね。魂も同じ。結局は宗教観に行き着く。2036年でもさ、魂の存在は証明されてないし、意識を形として証明した人はいないんだ。
そう、ちょっとがっかり。
意識が過去へ飛んだことで D メールに比べてより具体的に過去改変ができるようになったが、同時に収束する結果も存在した。
I can change the method of Mayuri's death, but never the fact that she dies.
違うよ。未来は確定してる。
ならば過程が変化したのはなぜだ。
世界線が変動してたから。岡部倫太郎が過去へ飛んで、本来とは別の行動をとったことで、ダイバージェンスがわずかだけど上下したはずだよ。でもその変動はダイバージェンスメーターで言うと 0.00001% 程度の誤差でしかないわけ。ちょっとしたことの場合、全く誤差が発生しない場合だってある。原因が変化することでさ、結果がすでに同時に存在している別の世界線へと変わっただけなの。しかもその2つの世界線は近似値だから変化なんてほとんど感じられないはず。
So is that why reading Steiner doesn't react?
変わる前の世界線は消滅したわけじゃなくてさ、可能性世界線として同時に存在し続けるんだよ。
その辺は多世界解釈なのね。
いずれにしてもパラレルワールドじゃない。
未来は再構成されていると。
そういうことになるのかな。
I'm confused again. Maybe it's impossible for me to fully understand the structure of the universe. Anyway, that's enough discussion. It's time for me to leap again. I explain the situation to Kurisu and let her activate the time leap machine immediately. It's the night of the 11th. I went back about 40 hours. My objective is to keep watch on the street vendor's stand in the hope that Suzuha's father might appear. I sent Suzuha elsewhere. I don't want her to be disappointed if I come up empty-handed. I'm standing out of sight a short distance away from the stand, munching on energy bars and soy milk to appease my growling stomach. I've already been here for 2 hours. I forgot to ask for the exact time the suspicious character appeared, so I had to begin my stakeout before sunset. Now it's 8 p.m. and the stand looks like it's about to close. Is this another waste of time? Did that foreigner give me false information? But just as I'm finishing my milk, ooh, here we go. Someone approaches the stand.
あれは
I jump out of cover.
誰？
What? Was I right?
ゲゲオカリン
Was I right? Daru jumps in surprise. But I'm the one who's really shocked here.
お前ここで何をしている？
その言葉そっくり返すぜ。
The storekeeper is looking at us funny, so we decide to change locations. Okay, I'm gonna need
そ
some.
れで誰よ。
Alright.
あの露店に何を頼もうとしていた。まさかタイターのピンバッジと同じものを偽造しようとしていたわけじゃないよな。
This could just be a red herring. Maybe I'm not right. Maybe there's an explanation for this.
そのまさかであります。
So that's what happened. Daru was the suspicious character the foreigner told me about. So, is that why he said he looked like a balloon? So all that stuff about judo, pro wrestling, and balloons were referring to Daru's size?
紛らわしいやつめ。
Could he not have said, like, instead of judo, could he not have said, like, sumo? Sumo wrestling would have been more appropriate. Damn, it was all for nothing. Good thing I didn't bring Suzuha along.
しかしなぜ偽造などしようと。
いや偽造ってわけじゃなくね。
似たようなものだろうが。
つまりさ転ばぬ先の杖ってやつ。 もしも天音氏の親父さんが見つかんなかったらかわいそうじゃん。だからその時は僕が作ったバッジを見せて親父さんはいたんだって嘘だな。
ぬか喜びさせるということか。
そういう言い方しなくてもよくね。世の中には2種類の嘘があってダメな嘘と優しい嘘があるんだぞ。
Wait, so I'm like, somehow in terms of the timeline, if he makes a counterfeit of the badge that she brought back, would that then create the badge in the first place, and then he gave it to her? I'm confused. I'm confused.
それは何のエロゲーから得た知識だ？
クラドナドナというエロゲーではなくいわば人生と呼べるノベルゲーからです。ってやかましいわ。ダメかな。架空のタイターを作り上げる作戦。
そんなことをして鈴葉が喜ぶとでも思っているのか？
Daro's expression suddenly turned sad.
これ天音氏からは誰にも言うなって言われてるんだけど、オカリンには話しとくよ。
Okay, what's this? He's got a big mouth, as usual. Still, he seems dead serious, so I'd better hear him out.
タイムマシンを調べていて天音氏から聞いたんだけど、あのマシンは過去にしか飛べないらしいんだ。
何？
At first, I don't understand what he means. Does that mean this is her only chance, and she can't go back to the future? Back to the future. Anyway.
バカな。俺が知っているタイターのタイムマシンは未来方向にも飛べた。
And that means we won't see her again, right? If she travels back to 1975 and gets the IBN 5100, then she can't come back to us.
実際に見たん？
見たわけじゃないが。
そもそもオカリンの言ってるタイターって2000年に現れたやつでしょ。僕はそんなタイター見たことも聞いたこともないけどな。
That's right. The Titor I know and Suzuha aren't necessarily the same person. Although their time machines are similar, there are significant differences. For example, one looks like a Chevy and the other looks like a satellite.
じゃあ本当に？
行ったら戻ってこられない。
それは例えば1975年に飛んだらどうなる？今の2010年には戻ってこられないのか？
戻ってくるには1975年から35年間をリアルタイムで生きないと。
Is he serious?
ということは鈴葉はタイムマシーンに乗って2036年に戻ることもできない。
だからさっきからそう言ってるじゃんか。
それはタイムマシンとしては欠陥品だろ。
Oh, that's why she's being so melancholy, is because she's like, this is the last time I'm going to see these guys.
そう、あのタイムマシンは未完成だって言ってた。
Incomplete? Incomplete?
セルンの技術をパクって天音氏の親父さんがこっそり独自に作ったものらしいんだけど、親父さんがセルンに殺されたせいで未完成のままなんだって。それでも過去には飛べるからちっとも問題ないって天音氏は笑ってたけどさ。
それは確かな話なんだな。
本人がそう言ったし、天音氏が嘘をついてない限りはマジだと思うよ。つうわけで今この時代にタイムマシンの修理が終わるまでに親父さんと会っておかないともう二度と会う機会はないかもしんないじゃん。
So that's why he was trying to make a copy of that pin, as evidence that Suzuha's father was here.
だがやはり偽造は良くない。嘘は嘘だ。
バレなければ。
I waved Daru silent and massaged my temples. I need to think. What difference does it make? True, Suzuha might be sad about missing her father, but that's none of my business. My top priority is Mayuri's safety. That's right. I mustn't let my emotions control me. I need to be more rational, more logical. There's a Japanese proverb, he who pursues two hares will catch neither. However, that sad smile on Suzuha's face. Now I understand what it meant. I feel something tighten deep within my chest. Alright, so that will wrap it up for this episode. So, yeah, that's pretty bummer about Suzuha. Hopefully that we can somehow change the timeline enough that, you know, we can keep her around and stuff, but it's just upping the stakes that much more that we don't think that we have as many chances as we thought we did. And then, of course, like, the mystery of who is her father, will we be able to find out? Am I right? Am I right about it being Daru or Okabe? Oh, we'll have to wait and see. I would be shocked if I'm actually right about that. I'm just like, is there going to be someone who just kind of comes in at the last minute? Or will we ever find out at all? I still need to think, like, let's try and find the mother, and maybe we can get some answers there. But, alright, so that's going to do it for this episode. More intriguing questions than answers, of course, so I am excited to continue on, and hopefully we will get some answers to some of these burning questions, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys. Special shout out to my top tier patrons: Namara Kito, Sparky, Icognito, Simon Rax, Mad Goldsmith, Harry Gazif, and Asborn Kennedy.